what do you guys want to talk about?
Welcome to the A-Train Show. And now here's your host, the A-Train, Arlington Lane.
Welcome to this edition of the A-Train Show, the A-Train, Arlington Lane. It's an Association Monday, as it always is on Monday. June 10th. Oh, my goodness. We are second week into June, and baby, it is hot wherever you may be. It is hot, and I hope that you are indoors, you're cool, and you're enjoying this edition of the A-Train Show. Folks, make sure that you go and check out our wonderful sponsor at McDougal Bats. Make sure you use the referral code Fuel Sports Network. It's the strongest wood bat ever made. And also, you check out our wonderful sponsors over at True Victory Apparel, Just Meat Jerky, and Dubby Energy Powder. Excuse me. All right. Before I get into Association Monday, make sure you check out Fuel Sports Network on Roku TV, Amazon TV, and on your Fire Stick. You know we are worldwide at FuelSportsNetwork.com. All right. Association Monday kicks off. I'm going to talk about it on Wednesday when we do the X-Fan show. I'm going to talk about the UFL then and my experiences with that. But I wanted to give a little nugget on it. Congratulations over to the San Antonio Brahmas and the Birmingham Stallions for their respective wins. One thing I'm going to need the UFL to do next season, schedule the games together. Put them together, okay? Same day. The NFL does it, so can the UFL. It's not a big problem. You're going against the NBA Finals, and you're going against other events as well. So it's nothing wrong with scheduling it on the same day. Big ups to the Battlehawks, though, and Michigan Panthers on their attempts to get into the championship game, and they had good seasons along the way, too. All right. Comment section is always open. You got a good comment here on the show. But yeah. Yes, thank you, Amanda. Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm happy for them. I'm happy for the Brahmas too. Yeah, so they deserve it. Especially Wade Phillips. Yeah, he deserved that wholeheartedly. All right. So if you've seen what I have at the beginning, that the USA basketball team is causing, the women's basketball team is causing quite a stir with this whole thing with Caitlin Clark. Hopefully I can get our guy that's covering the Vegas Aces, Jersey the King, to come on and drop in and give some nuggets on this situation with USA basketball team. You know what? I'm going to hold off. Hold off for a second. I want to talk about the NBA Finals. And listen, I was ready to get into it, but I was like, nah, not yet. Not yet. NBA Finals. Right now, Boston got a 2-0 lead on the Dallas Mavericks in the best of 7. Right now, is Dallas in trouble? I can't say, because they played a much closer game than they did in Boston in game 2 than they did in game 1. They fell flat, but I think they were in the game the most from what I seen, because my time was at the XFL championship game. It looked like they were in it for the most part. They lost by 7. And I think Tatum really wants that title. And this is the best chance he has this season to get that championship. If Boston does not win, and I've had my man, Pastor Robert L. Bailey Jr., which I think we're going to get him every Friday on this show. Do a weekly with him and see how, that works out. Because he gave some compelling points about what Dallas had to do for game 2 on the Friday show, and it didn't lead to a W. So at this rate, what does it look like for them heading into game 3? Well, they're going to be behind the home crowd, and they got to come out firing from the get-go. I think we've seen that in a lot of NBA finals, that those teams that are down 0-2 are not clearly out, but it's always game 3. I know we said game 2 last Friday. It was going to depend on the score. The score was 105-98 in game 2, so that means they kept it close. They just couldn't get over the hump. All right, but let's see. I think I've gotten frozen. All right, we'll have to step aside, take a break. All right, we'll be back right after this. You're tuning into the X-Fan Show. I'm sorry, the A-Train Show here on Field Sports Network. We'll be right back.
You aren't perfect. If you've ever struggled, if you've ever failed, if you want to get better, be better, and make our world better, this is the perfect brand for you. True Victory. Founded by U.S. military veterans, True Victory is a sportswear and streetwear brand dedicated to building everyday champions on and off the field. We're a cause. Our purpose is to transform lives and elevate humanity through the power and unity of sports, positive stories, and serving others. We're dedicated to the game, the grind, and the globe. But most importantly, we're dedicated to you. That's what it means to be always true.
Don't you hate that when you have some technical difficulties? But we're back here on the A-Train Show, the A-Train Arlington Lane. Yeah, sorry for that. I saw that my camera decided it was like shock you, freeze. And so made sure we threw that in and got the camera situated. I think we're okay now. But yeah. Let's get back into the topic. The topic at hand was at the moment it was the NBA Finals, and if they were in trouble, meaning the Dallas Mavericks. Let me check real quick. Check the box score as I'm talking to you today. Just looking at the numbers. Seeing that Luka was at a -3. I know, you know what? I'm not a fan of the plus-minus system, but it really is crucial to how well the game flow is for each player. And judging by what I see on the stat line for the players, that PJ Washington was the only starter that was in the plus side for the Mavericks. Derek Lively, not much of a factor himself, 2.7 rebounds in only 19 minutes of play. I would love to see Jason. I know Jason Tatum has he has a rotation of 10 that he uses. Maybe you want to see, like, what happened to Tim Hardaway Jr.? Like, seriously. Like, it's almost like he fell off the face of the earth the minute Kyrie Irving got in with the Mavericks. Because Hardaway for years, starter, 6-man, you know, could get a bucket. And now he's seeing the end of the bench, and younger players are getting his time, getting like Jaden Hardy and Josh Green and Dante Exum. Like, they're getting the minutes. And sometimes a Hardaway Jr. could bring in a bucket that could, you know, spark a run. And right now he's not really seeing it. I think he got garbage time in game 1, but I don't know. Is that really the case now for the Dallas Mavericks, that a long mainstay like Tim Hardaway doesn't get the clock anymore? It's really weird now, because I've seen Tim Hardaway play for a long time now, and it's really, really interesting how this is being portrayed, you know, how this series is already headed. And it's looking like, seeing the game yesterday, Drew Holiday with 26 and 11 rebounds. And Tatum had his worst shooting game of the playoffs at 6 of 22. And he was a +6. See, that's what I'm saying. I don't understand how it had to be other factors in the game for him to be at, you know, this stage that he's, you know, he's doing well. And I want to make sure okay. We good. I got to make sure I'm still moving. Because that was weird that we had that outage and nothing came back into play. I think I lost my Twitter viewers. Let me see something real quick. Did I lose y'all? I think I did. No, we still there. Okay. Yeah. But at this rate right now, I don't think Dallas is in trouble. We still got to see what they do in game 3. Game 3 will, I know we said game 2 might tell the story. I don't think it did. Game 3 will tell the story, because you don't want to go down 0-3. You want to get back into the series. If Dallas does go down 0-3, hell, that series can end in Dallas. And it will underwhelm. I think game 1's viewership was at 11 million. It was down from last year. So still, though, that it gets 8 figures is still a huge thing, you know? So at this rate, NBA viewership is fine. You know, it would sit back and talk about other sports and whatnot, and their viewership, if they get that type of number, then they're good. And it seemed like it was a much more competitive game. I really want to see what the game flow was like like the play-by-play in it. There it is. I want to see that real quick. Because I remember seeing at some point that the Dallas Mavericks were ahead, and then after that, they never got back. They never got the lead back. So it's going to be interesting to see how well that these two teams can, well, especially the Dallas Mavericks, have to respond going into game 3. See if I can bring it up really quick. Yes. Boom. Remove that so you guys can see the whole game flow. See 13-10 at one point, 13-12. See they had a lead that you see right there, 22-18 during the first quarter. Still had a lead at going into so they had the lead 28-25 in the first quarter. And judging by the summary and the box score, I want to see the okay, those are the game charts. And you got it for every player too. That's cool. Cool thing about it at NBA.com. But just judging from that first quarter, they had a lead and just couldn't quite keep it. And Boston's tough. Boston is a tough team, man. They reminded me a lot of the Golden State Warriors back in, in the Kerr era, because a lot of people ain't realizing that Warriors team is going to be broken up sooner than you think. I think so, because it's time. All good things got to come to an end. But interestingly enough, we'll see how things play out when it gets to game 3 coming up. I am really interested in seeing this whole thing now with Dan Hurley. Dan Hurley's supposed to be making his decision today on whether he takes the job with the Los Angeles Lakers, which is considered probably the best job in the NBA, best head coaching job in the NBA right now. So, he's did something that hadn't been done in 20 years, get a team back-to-back national championships with UConn. And, yeah, you're going to be a hot commodity. You're going to be a hot commodity either for that school or you're going to be a hot commodity for the NBA. And college coaches going to the NBA, it's a tall task. The last mention about the college coaches that won national championships and been in the league, you got John Calipari, you got Billy Donovan, who was the last one to to get back-to-back titles in NCAA to an NCAA championship. And let's see, his NBA career, it's not as bad as I thought. But it has been underwhelming. Like his very first season in the league, they went to a conference finals with Oklahoma City. And now with Chicago, they have, I think in the 4 seasons that he's been there, they've been to the playoffs once. No, I'm not, and you can't count the play-in tournament. You can't count the play-in tournament because that's not really a playoff game. That is more of you getting into the playoffs. So, so if you don't make the playoffs, you of course miss the playoffs. So in his 4 seasons with Chicago, he's only made the playoffs once. And I think for Billy Donovan's case, he had a team kind of built in where they were going to be successful no matter what. I don't think he ever missed the playoffs in Oklahoma City. He didn't. 5 times they went to the playoffs, and they were either first round or the conference finals in his first year. So, interestingly enough, like Rick Pitino and John Calipari, they all had their hands. They have had national championships and had their way to be head coaches in the NBA, and it hasn't quite worked out. For Dan Hurley's case, you're taking over a team. Of course, you already have it built with LeBron James and Anthony Davis and Austin Reeves. You got a talented bunch, but will they buy into your system? Now, also hearing the news that was speculated with JJ Redick over at ESPN being the next head coach for the Lakers. I don't know. I maybe it's because it's just LeBron or whatever, but I would have a problem that a guy that's the same age as me is to be the head coach of the team, or somebody younger than me. If I'm the oldest player on the squad and you younger than me and you firing off stuff to me, like you telling me what to do on the court. Man, I'm older than you. I've been around this game longer than you have. So what can you tell me that could change it or help me to win? Like, it's more about eyeballs and business decisions more than it is about winning championships. Because does anybody really believe that JJ Redick, if he comes in with this Lakers team, can build them into a championship contender right away? While you still have LeBron on the roster, I think he's a free agent, but while he's still here, while he's still there until July, I think it's July 1st is when they open up free agency. So you really can tell me that JJ Redick can build a championship team. Dan Hurley could probably do it better. I don't even think he would get it in first year. But crazy things happen. Crazy things can happen. But Dan, like I said, Dan Hurley's supposed to be making his decision today on whether he's going to choose to stay at UConn or whether he's going to move. He's going to move towards the Los Angeles Lakers. There people are waiting, man. Like, come on, we ain't got all day. And they saying 2 hours ago his decision has been made. It just has not been made publicly. So now they're saying 2 o'clock. So in the next 37 minutes, my show will be over by the time that the decision will be made. We definitely can touch on it on the Wednesday show. But yeah, that's that. That's where we are with that. And all the best to Dan Hurley and his decision, whatever it will be, it probably will be for the best. I'd rather him stay at UConn because he's built them to a blue chip school. Like, you can't sit here and tell me that UConn isn't a blue chip school. Like, you won't want to send your basketball athlete, men or women, up to that school. That's a true powerhouse in Storrs, Connecticut. Like, if you look at it since 1999, UConn has been the best program out the bunch. UConn. You can't even deny them as a blue chipper. You gotta see, like, you saw what happened with Duke and North Carolina. They finally had changes with their coaches. And of course, Kansas it's always been a blue chipper, right? So Kentucky will always remain in that realm, even though they've been going through their struggles as of late. Those are schools that many players wanted to see themselves on that, especially 4 and 5 star players always want to see themselves play on a national stage. And with everything with NIL, like I'm still like, it's amazing how Dan Hurley was able to pull off back-to-back national championships. You would think that's easier to do because all you have to do now is rebuild a new roster. And if the roster was better than the previous season, you're essential for another national title. So I'm like, I don't see it. I guess I'm not really getting the whole ordeal with this NIL stuff, or I shouldn't even say that. The transfer portal is the reason why teams like that are schools of that nature are all, haven't grasped onto that quick. All right, we're gonna take a quick commercial break, and then when I come back, I'll have Jersey the King join me from Vegas to talk about the topic I really want to discuss on is the USA women's basketball team and why it's causing so much stir. So gonna come right back in 2 minutes. So you're tuning in to the A Train Show, and it's all right here on Field Sports Network.
Forget the money and fame. Stay ready, making sure that they'll remember my name. I got a hunger inside when the numbers are tied. Yo, I'ma turn it up a level, never will be denied.
Welcome back to this edition of the A Train Show, the A Train Arlington Lane. We're quite at the halfway point here of the show, and I'm bringing on my next guest. Of course, you've seen him on the Jersey the King show. You can catch him on the Gridiron every Saturday at 1 p.m. Eastern. Jersey the King is always going down at 11 Eastern, 11 p.m. Eastern on Thursday nights. It's the one and only JTK himself, Jersey the King, smooth as a baby.
What's going on, y'all? Yes, sir. Letting it shine today, letting it shine a little bit.
Smooth as a baby's bottom.
Yes, sir. I'm a year older, so
Before we get into the topic at hand, I don't know if you've seen the whole thing with Dan Hurley. I just want your thought on should he take the Laker job or should he take it? Should he stay at UConn?
In my personal opinion, I feel he should stay with UConn for at least another year. What he's done since he's been at that program is nothing short of, phenomenal. He took them from not being that constant championship squad in the Final Four to, being back to that stature. And I think that if he takes one more year, especially with Paige, take that year with Paige, let her keep developing under him and the rest of those players, and help them get to their next level or the next season before he decides to take a professional job. I just feel that he needs to take one more year with UConn at least, if not two, before he goes and takes on a professional job in the NBA or even the WNBA.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think I understand the Laker job is a primary job right now, and it's high profile, but it's also the most pressure. Because when you think of the yellow and purple, and the gold and purple and gold, that is royalty. And so they look at it at a high standard. When they had Darvin Ham, there was a lot of miscommunication. There was a lot of confusion. There was a lot of it was breaking down. It wasn't anything good mostly coming out of it. I think they did get a conference finals trip, and they ran into the Denver Nuggets, who went on to win the NBA championship. But there still was friction within the organization between Darvin Ham and his players. So if Dan Hurley doesn't take that job, who do you think should take that job? Do you think JJ Redick should take that job?
I think that'll be too much for JJ as a first head coach job. I think that'll be way too much, and that man will have a head full of gray hairs by the end of his first season.
Hey, listen.
I don't think it's a good move for JJ.
Hey, when Luke Walton is taking that job, and that's too much for him, it'll make you think, come on, you serious?
Exactly. Like, honestly, I don't even know who should take that job. I don't even want to put that pressure on a coach.
Well, the coaches will be like, if it's the next step for me, and you want to take that challenge, then you take a leap on it, right? You just instantly take a leap. But if you don't want it, it's going to wind up being somebody internally taking it, or it's going to have to be an outsider that nobody expects to take that job.
Right. Definitely. Right. Most definitely.
Gotcha. All right. So I'm dang it. Did I remove it? I hope I didn't remove it. I think I did by accident. Yeah. Because I didn't think I was going to need it again until now. I just realized, what I did. Oh man, I need that. I need that video. Like, I need that. I was gonna put it up at the beginning of the show, but I was like, nah. But here we are. I'm gonna have to go back to this again for the topic that we're about to discuss. I really have to, because it's gonna remain supreme, even though the timing of it when it was said is now seem like it's long ago. This is where we're still at.
This is only women that get this. I'm tired of it. Like, here's my thing, you guys. What else? Who are these girls? Who are these girls that are hating on Caitlin Clark? Are you just combing through Twitter? What else are these women supposed to do? Fawn over her? Fangirl over her? bend the fucking knee, kiss the ring. Like, what do you want from them? We cannot every time the girl plays a game. She got 40 games, guys. She got 35 more games. We are not every single game going to revisit and retread this same tired ass rhetoric that all these girls are hating on her, and they need to be thankful. They have been. Sure. They've said it. Time and time and time again. You want the girl every single time she walks out onto the court? What are we supposed to do? You want them all to give Caitlin their firstborn? Like, what are you looking for? It is embarrassing because if this was the men and you just watched a bunch of other dudes fawn over someone all the time, you'd call them weak. That would be a soft move. Where's your competition? Where's the animus that used to be in the NBA when they really hated each other? Now they're all friends. It's so boring. We hate it. With women, you want them to do what?
I'm gonna have to play this every episode now. Just about. I'm just gonna have to play this every freaking episode. Only for the simple fact of what she said. Listen.
Oh, she cracked me up.
And you know what? They really trying to make a story out of this so bad. Athlon Sports, aka the former Sports Illustrated, is really trying to do a deep dive on this team and why Caitlin Clark is not on it. They really, and they're saying that there are players on that squad that have would have a problem with her being on that squad.
They should. What has she done in the last 4 years in the WNBA? Not in the college game. What has she done in the last 4 years in the WNBA?
And for sports heads, but I know they're doing it because ratings and money are on the table. It's there. It's there for the taking. Are going around saying that this is a stupid decision having Caitlin Clark, not having Caitlin Clark on these teams. But it goes back to what L. Duncan was saying. What does the USA basketball team have to do? They got to kiss her ring or stuff to get her on this, have her to be a part of this squad for what? Here's the thing, man. There's no WNBA rookies on that team. And
there's
why?
Never been.
And let's get something straight here. Sabrina Ionescu is on this team. Breanna Stewart is going to be on this team. What else we got? Diana Taurasi is on this team.
And she's
the people that have been. She's what, if I'm not mistaken, she's shooting for what, a 4th gold medal?
Yeah. Pushing 40.
A 5th gold medal?
Pushing 40.
Pushing it. She's 41.
I was trying to be, respectful.
It's no point of being nice about it. It's no point of being nice about it.
41
She's already
years old.
there. And
balling.
She's still balling at her age. And you gonna sit there and tell me,
but she ain't better than Caitlin Clark Arlington. She's not better than Caitlin Arlington.
Why? Because the stats don't show it? Because the stats don't show it?
I don't know. But
I haven't mentioned the likes of A'ja Wilson, Chelsea
best
Brand.
player on the planet.
I haven't mentioned them, but they're mad because fans.
Has A'ja Wilson not set a record or made history in some way, shape, or form, or accomplished a milestone in some way, shape, or form in almost every single game this year?
Don't matter. It don't matter. It don't matter. It don't matter, dude. It don't matter.
That's right. She's not Caitlin Clark. But she's been doing this for 7 years in the WNBA.
It doesn't matter, dude. Because it ain't
She's
Caitlin
got
Clark.
2 WNBA championships. She has 2 WNBA MVPs. She's a one-time WNBA Finals MVP. She is currently the best women's basketball player on the planet.
Was she ever the college player of the year? Was she ever the college player of the year?
I think so. I think the year she won a national championship.
She's won a national. Did she not win a national championship? So what?
Yeah,
what does and like girls like Breanna Stewart, Sabrina Ionescu that really didn't get that was honors either, but their play from the previous years is why they on this team. like it's funny to me. I'm waiting. I'm going to say it again. I'm waiting for Paige Buchers to get to the W. I'm waiting.
Look, if Paige Beckers would have been in this draft,
oh my
Caitlin
goodness.
Clark would have been a what? She would have been a what?
They would have put her over Caitlin.
Caitlin Clark would have been an afterthought. Right or wrong?
That's
not
correct.
saying that Caitlin Clark isn't
both
good.
And here's the thing, is what's being said here is this. Both are great players. They're great players. We're saying it on this show right here. They're great players.
I'm not taking anything away from Caitlin Clark. Everyone who wants to sit here and say I'm bashing her on social media, I'm not. I'm speaking facts and truth. She has not done anything much. She hasn't done much in the WNBA. She hasn't done enough in the WNBA.
Now, wait a minute.
No NBA rookie. Hold on. No NBA rookie or WNBA rookie has ever made the Olympic team. Go look it up. If you tell me a rookie that's made the NBA or the WNBA Olympic team, I'll shut up.
Hey, let me ask you this.
Yes.
Paige Buchers, we got to do it. Because I'm going to do it now. Paige Buchers is on. What if Paige Buchers had made the Beckers, would have made the team over Caitlin Clark if she was playing in the W, or she just made the team? Period.
That would have been controversy, and I wouldn't have agreed with it. Because at the end of the day, no rookie has ever been on the Olympic team. Why? Because you can't. You don't have no time in the W. You don't have no time in the professional league. Right or wrong, though?
Right. Also, but they would have did the college. They would have said, hey, we're going to add a college player like they did in 92. Let's say they did that. And they chose Paige over Caitlin. Would you have a problem with that?
No, because Paige Beckers is better than Caitlin Clark. She may not can shoot the three like Caitlin Clark, but everywhere else, she's better than Caitlin Clark. It showed in the national championship game. I mean, we can go back and watch it. We can go back and watch it. You know what I'm saying, Arlington? I'm just saying. If Paige was on this team right now,
there's a
or
huge
if
problem
Paige was in the league right now, she wouldn't have been. Caitlin Clark wouldn't have been a number one draft pick. Just saying. In my opinion, I don't think
it's not Caitlin Clark. And it's like everything has to be, and Caitlin herself is like, everything is not going to be gifted to me. Why are y'all not listening to her? If y'all if fans of hers are listening,
breaking news.
What's the breaking news?
Dan Hurley turns down Lakers' 6-year, $70 million offer and will return to UConn to chase a third straight national title.
UConn fans rejoice. Because you know why? UConn is a blue chip school.
3 straight.
That hadn't been done since UCLA?
Or
John Wood?
Gino. No, remember?
Wait, yeah, come on, man. We talking about the men's game. Listen. Don't get me wrong. Gino is the king over in UConn from all areas of basketball. Gino's king. That is no question about that.
How many national championships he got when
Gino's king there, man. Look, it was already
back to back too.
Exactly. But I'm talking about from the men's basketball standpoint. That hasn't been done since UCLA.
Since
John
UCLA.
Wood.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So it's on. Okay. For the men's side, it's difficult. I'm not saying for the women's side, it's not difficult, because it's still difficult to try and go and you're besting yourself the previous year. On the men's side, there was always a new team that's coming into the mix that's starting to steal the thunder. Granted, the women do the same, and I want y'all to understand that I'm not downplaying women's basketball. I want you to see by the competition and how in the champions, if you look at the list of champions, there's usually a different champion each year. Usually a different champion each year. Can't be the same It hasn't really been the same as much, but it's starting to do that in women's basketball now, with LSU winning, South Carolina winning, UConn not being the team that they once were. They're still a blue chip school, by the way. You get teams like NC State get into the Final Four. Like, there's always something new here. It's always something.
And what's crazy to me, I don't mean to cut you off, but let me interject real quick. It's crazy to me that people sit here and they talk about, oh, well, Larry Bird went to a smaller school instead of going to Indiana. Okay, Caitlin Clark is at Iowa. Iowa's not a small school in college basketball. They're not going to get considered a small school in college basketball on the women or men's side. So let's not act like, and that's what's crazy. I've been seeing this so much. Oh, well, Larry Bird went to whatever, Indiana State or whatever university I got, but they want to say and keep bringing that up. But at the end of the day, what does that have to do with the fact that Caitlin Clark went to a top 10 school and played for a top 10 school and made that top 10 school even more popular with her play? At the end of the day, that was college. We're talking about the WNBA now. And for people to sit here and say that Caitlin Clark is the WNBA now, she's the reason why the WNBA is as popular as it is, no lie to that. But the wrong thing is that, or should I say, the thing that's wrong about it.
Else.
Exactly. Because at the end of the day, Sabrina Ionescu should have had all this hype. She's living up to it. Breanna Stewart should have had all this hype. Candace Parker should have had all this hype. Maya Moore should have had all this hype. Diana Taurasi should have had all this hype. Cheryl Swoop, can I keep going? Should I keep going? There are so many players before Paige or before Caitlin Clark that should have gotten the hype that she's getting for the W to get the popularity that it's looking to get now. They could have had this popularity.
And remember when the WNBA did have that popularity. They had the popularity in 97, 98, 99, 2000, 2001, 2002. Especially when Lisa Leslie dunked in the game for the first time. That was everything to the W. And even then,
when BG,
it wasn't as massive. And I mean, like, because it was pre-social media, it may not have it would have been a big deal on social media.
It would have got millions of
and
I'm going to be and shares.
I'm going to be transparent. I stopped watching the W after a while because it had, I'll say, when I went to, like, right after college. No, I can't say that because I was watching Candace Parker too, and they had been around for a while. Remember, they had gotten the fights and stuff when they was with the LA Sparks. She was dealing with, let's not forget the Detroit Shock and Bill Laimbeer, right?
Boy, what?
Because then he became the Vegas Aces coach too, right?
No, yeah. He
became the Aces coach too. So there was a time period where I didn't watch the W, but I actually started watching when I was seeing Sabrina, Breanna Stewart, Napheesa Collier, right? Who's going to be a part of this team? A'ja Wilson. That's the person that actually got me back. That truly got me back was A'ja Wilson. I paid attention to Napheesa Collier because she's a St. Louisan and she was doing her thing. She's doing her thing in Minnesota. Shout out to Incarnate Word.
And she's actually going to be part of the ownership group of that new 3-on-3 women's league coming out. Correct. With Breanna Stewart. Napheesa Collier, Breanna Stewart, and I think there's going to be a third or fourth, if I'm not mistaken. There's going to be 3 or 4 players, and that's including those two for sure. There might be 2 more with them. They're starting this 3-on-3 league. So big ups to Napheesa Collier and Stewie, man, for real.
And that's what I'm saying. I need to take one final break before I want to continue this conversation because it's been going. But yeah, let me go ahead and take this break, and I'm gonna be short with it. I promise you. I promise it's gonna be like 30 seconds, a minute. Give me 1 minute, and I'll be back with more of the show right after this. All right, we gotta finish
Yes,
out
sir.
strong. All right, we'll be back.
A Train Show.
All right, we're back with the A Train Show. I know I can get people get hyped when they hear that song, man.
Yeah, that's my boy right there. That's my
All
jam.
right. All right, let's close it out. Close it out here. But back to the W and the whole thing with this rhetoric that keeps coming out about Caitlin Clark and how people are against her. You got all of these great players that's in the league right now that's all well deserving. A lot of people are questioning why Chelsea Gray is on the squad and why she's not going to if I'm not mistaken, do you think this injury is going to take her all the way to is going to go surpass during the Olympics? So she should be ready to go by the time the Olympics get here, right?
Listen, I've seen some pregame shoot-arounds. You guys know this. I've seen her taking shots and moving around a little bit. The thing that they're more worried about is her tweaking it without being 100% healthy and then it being an even worse injury and keeping her out even longer. That's the reason why Chelsea Gray has not made her appearance yet. Because Becky is being very, very cautious. We are trying to three-peat. So with the Aces trying to three-peat, it is more important to have everyone healthy at the end of the season, knowing that we could at least make it to the playoffs without her, if need be, because Tip Hayes has come in and Tiffany Hayes has been excellent off the bench. She's been that surge we needed off the bench. Without Kirsten Bell there, without Chelsea Gray there. Last night, we didn't have Jackie Young. That was a hurt piece. You know what I mean? She was sick, out with an illness. But you got to imagine when everyone does come back. I honestly don't think that it's going to take Chelsea all the way through the Olympics to come back. I don't think she's going to miss the Olympics. If she does, even still, there's going to be an alternate who's been in the league. That's what it comes down to. There's going to be an alternate who's been in the league. Period.
Got you, man. Hey, and
yes,
2028 is where we at for the appearance of Caitlin Clark. So
it's going to happen.
By that time, she'll be established. She should be
not only established, but she should be one of the faces of this league. As far as every game is a must watch, like you got to go watch this girl play.
Like, come on, man.
Like it was in college.
It's so much. And it's like I'm giving her excuse, but you putting a lot of pressure on this girl. But I think she likes the bright lights, but at the same time, she still want to fall back when the game is over.
She wants to play basketball.
That's it. That's all I want to do is play ball, man.
So I think ESPN, I think Stephen A. Smith, I think Shannon Sharp, I think everyone at First Take, I think everyone at WNBA Countdown and or those who aren't on WNBA Countdown. I think everybody since her junior year for hyping her up to this point to where now it's like Everything in the WNBA revolves around Caitlin Clark.
All right.
You don't even have the back-to-back champions on ESPN unless they're playing the Fever. Stop it. The league and the media are doing this. Bless you, babe. The league and the media are doing this. That's what it comes down to. There's too many media personnel out there and too many different networks and media personality, TV hosts. What's going on, Sabrina? All that. There's too many of them out there putting her on this pedestal as the next greatest player. When we have a greatest player right now, we have the best player on the planet in the league right now, and her name is A'ja Wilson, number 22 for the Las Vegas Aces, the back-to-back defending champions. But she's getting overlooked and underappreciated for everything that she's doing this season. She's getting overlooked by a rookie who ain't done nothing except set a few records because she shoots tons of threes. Show me Caitlin Clark going to the hole more times than she's taking threes in a game, and I'll shut up.
And on that note, we're wrapping this bad boy up today. Just like that. Thank you to Jersey the King, man. Thank you so much for popping in and do your thing. Make sure you do the show on Thursday nights at 11 Eastern, and then make sure you tune into the Gridiron if you're looking for good football talk. Don't get me wrong, bottom line, listen, I don't want you coming after me talking about something. Y'all don't do it either. Y'all do it from 8 to 10, but he also do his thing on the weekend. So I'm going to make sure I get that out there because the villain's finna go out. This A-Train signing off. We'll catch you for another edition of the A-Train Show. We'll see you Wednesday. Got a great guest coming on. See y'all later.